Hi guys, this is the ASMR Nerd, and today, which is February the 11th, 2015, marks 2 years since I uploaded my very first video on this channel. And to celebrate, I asked all of you guys for questions that I could answer in this here Q&A video. And the response has been staggering. I've got way more questions than I thought I would, which is at once flattering. It's nice that people care that much and are curious, and also a little bit overwhelming. I got well over 200 comments on that call for questions that I posted a few days ago. And once I sorted all those questions into a big list, which I've got in front of me here, and deleted the duplicates and all that stuff, there's still over 180 unique questions, which is, yeah, pretty exciting. Really cool. So thank you all so much for posting all of your questions, some of which are very creative, very interesting, and very thoughtful as well. Really quickly, just before I dive into the questions here, on the 1 year or 2 year, I should say, update that I'm doing here, I want to say thanks for everything to everybody, which sounds kind of stupid, but when I started this channel 2 years ago, I did not imagine that I'd be sitting here 2 years later with almost 100 videos posted, over 10,000 subscribers, which I passed quite recently. The channel passed the 10,000 subscriber mark, which is unbelievable. Over 1 million total views, which is crazy. I don't spend a lot of time looking at the YouTube analytics, but sometimes it's kind of fun to look at. And cumulatively, since I started this channel, you guys have watched over 20 years of me whispering at you and touching and tapping things. It's kind of crazy when you think about it, just how many people you can reach through platforms like YouTube, through the internet, and how many lives you can impact. And I say it all the time in the comments and all the time in my videos, but it is such a rewarding position to be in, a rewarding thing to be able to do, to make these videos, to have all of you, watch them, appreciate them, get something out of them. Maybe they improve your life in some way, and to be able to interact with you guys through comments, Facebook, Twitter, all that stuff. So anyway, yeah, thank you. And thank you. I've made a bunch of friends too doing this, which is fantastic. People that I would have never had any chance of meeting otherwise, through the ASMR community. It's just an unbelievably supportive community by and large. I like to call it a weird little corner of the internet that kind of defies what, expectations about the internet and about the kind of people that you meet there and the way people comport themselves and behave. There are so many amazingly friendly, supportive individuals who are part of this community, who make these videos, watch these videos, and it's just an absolute pleasure to be a part of. So thank you to everybody. It means a lot to me. So that's enough of that. So as I said, I've got a huge list of questions here, which I'm going to try and work my way through. I don't know how long this is going to take. This could end up being a very long video indeed. I expect it's going to be at least an hour, probably, but I could be wrong. Maybe it'll go faster than I expect. If it ends up being really, really long, I will likely split it into 2 parts. Just for making it more manageable for uploads and for watching and for me to answer as well. I might end up answering some of the questions in a second part, so we shall see. And before I dive in, like I said, I made a big list. I have a big Excel spreadsheet here in front of me. And I tried to categorize all the questions sort of into broad categories and weed out all the duplicates. And I am going to try and give everybody's name who asked a question. I'm going to try and attribute the question to them, but there's a chance that I might have missed a few questions just because there's a lot of them. There's a chance I might have put the wrong name to the wrong question. There's a decent chance that I might pronounce your name wrong because a lot of these are difficult to pronounce, or kind of weird strings of letters and numbers, as YouTube names tend to be. And some of the questions I'm going to be paraphrasing. I might have reworded them a bit because multiple people might have asked similar but not identical questions, but I kind of want to hit multiple birds with one stone. Yeah, and I'm going to be doing this with a soft-spoken voice. This is my attempt at soft-spoken voice, which I don't do very often. But I'll try and keep it kind of soft. I'm not whispering it because I'm going to be doing a lot of talking, and that would be a very, probably tough on my voice. So I'm going to try and keep it fairly quiet and soft, and maybe it'll be triggering for you. Maybe it won't. I don't know. But either way, hopefully you enjoy the questions and the answers, and hopefully if you asked a question, I'll give you a satisfactory answer, something interesting. It'll be fun. Okay, so after a 10-minute preamble, let's get started. First category is ASMR related stuff. Well, it's all largely, or a lot of ASMR related stuff, but this is ASMR, my ASMR, like my triggers, my experiences with ASMR, those sorts of things. So, first question. And within the category, they're in no particular order. They're just however I wrote them down. Anyway, first question from SynapsenFic8762. Do you get tingles from watching your own videos? No, I don't. Usually when I'm watching my own videos, I'm being like hypercritical of myself. I'm noticing all the things that are wrong, or that I could have done better, or that I said that was stupid, or something like that. So I don't think I've ever got tingles from watching my own videos, which isn't to say it couldn't happen. A trigger's a trigger, but I find with ASMR you really have to be in the right mental space where you can just kind of turn your brain off and relax and just let the triggers kind of wash over you and really relax. And I'm not doing that with my own videos. I'm usually criticizing or editing or whatever. So no, I don't. Good question though. When/how did you first discover ASMR? This was a really popular question. Lots of people asked various permutations of this, and I'm just going to list them off. Asking this question, we had Brendan Whitney, Prout Kaka XX, Ricardo, Dr. Sax, Sasso, Clockmouse7771, McLean 33, Requiem, Xstick, Nikolai Albeck, Kaya D. Jafixjus, which I think is just random letters, and I'm not sure, and Just Oddly, and maybe a couple others of you as well. So how did I first discover ASMR, or when, I guess? I've felt ASMR as long as I can remember, I guess. but like many of you, for most of my life, I never really thought about it. I just assumed it was something that everybody experienced, and I never really thought of it as like a thing, you know. Um, it just kind of was. And of course, I didn't know it was called ASMR for a long time, but I do have memories of watching mostly PBS, the classic Bob Ross. I remember a very specific painting that he did, and I have not been able to find the episode, but I do recall experiencing ASMR watching him paint that painting. And it was sort of like a dappled glade with sunlight coming down through the trees. I'll try and find it again one day maybe, but and I would watch Bob Ross at my granddad's place with him, and also Mr. Rogers. Mr. Rogers' soft, slow tones were a trigger for me at a very young age. But again, at the time, I didn't really think about it or recognize it as anything unique or out of the ordinary. I just, it was just a nice kind of lightly euphoric, tingly feeling, and I just knew I didn't want it to stop. It was, you sort of got the buzz and you just kind of wanted to stay there, you know. So that was those are my first ASMR memories, I guess. But maybe more to the point, how did I discover ASMR was a thing and that there was a community? That was more recent, obviously. And it was thanks to Reddit, which there was a post of some kind that was, I think it was an Ask Reddit post along the lines of, what's something that you experience that you're not sure if other people do? Something like that. I haven't been able to find the post, and I have looked. But somewhere in there, someone described what I immediately recognized. I didn't, again, know what his name was, but I was like, yes, that tingly feeling, that relaxing, kind of floaty, tingly feeling, I get that. And so I immediately knew what they were talking about, and then right below that, someone linked to the ASMR subreddit, which I think was pretty new at the time. I don't know exactly, but I think this must have been in late 2011 or very early 2012. I think it was late 2011. And I went there and I watched the first couple of videos, the most upvoted ones, and it was, again, instantaneous recognition. I knew immediately what was going on. And so that's how I discovered the ASMR community. Before that, but, not in my childhood, more recently, I had gone onto YouTube and sort of I was looking for like painting tutorials, drawing tutorials, and origami videos. And again, I didn't really know why I was looking for them. I just knew that I found them relaxing, especially, in the evenings. I'd find myself watching them late at night. And it would give me that kind of tingly, hair stands on end, prickly, but relaxing, euphoric feeling. And I did that for a while before I found the ASMR subreddit. So again, it was sort of a organic process combined with a bit of luck, I guess, that I happened to stumble across it. So I hope that answers your question. Who is your favorite ASMR artist and why? This question was asked by Restful Tingles, who is an awesome guy. Christian is his name. He's got a channel of his own, Restful Tingles, which, if you haven't seen before, you should definitely check out. He does some really great eating videos. Those are some that I really enjoy, candy tasting and that sort of thing. DVD videos. Anyway, go check him out. Also asked by Jack Perry, Lanik, and a fellow or lady whose name is in all Cyrillic. It looks very Russian, and I cannot pronounce it. So Thank you for asking, though. Yeah, favorite ASM artist. Man, this is a tough question. I've got, I think, literally probably hundreds of subscriptions on this account. People that I'm subscribed to that are all just fantastic. Um, and sometimes I'll be on a fix sort of with one particular ASM artist. They'll really be, triggering for me for a while, and then I'll sort of shift over to another or a different one. I'm kind of beating around the bush, dodging the question here, but okay, some names. Donna ASMR. She's fantastic. I really love her stuff. Donna, if you're watching, you should comment more on your videos, because you often comment on mine, and I often am asleep before I comment on yours, but I do watch them still regularly, and I've been enjoying those since before I started my channel. I remember seeing her videos posted to the ASMR subreddit a long time ago. So that was, I've watched her channel for a long time, and she's fantastic. Ephemeral Rift. I really, really appreciate his videos as ASMR, but also as just endlessly creative and interesting pieces of art in a lot of ways. Some people find them a bit off-putting, creepy, maybe. And that's kind of the point sometimes, I think. But he does a lot of really cool stuff. He's just got endless originality, and his intonation and his presentation are just second to none. They trigger me like none other. So I really got to make this quicker here. This is 20 minutes. I've answered 3 questions. I really like Softly Galoshes. Rebecca, I've spoken with her, on numerous occasions. She's a really awesome person, really nice. And her mouth sounds videos especially are fantastic. I love those. I like Restful Tingles, as I mentioned earlier. He's excellent. I like, recently I've been watching a channel called Soft Serenity ASMR. She does lots of Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time Let's Plays, as well as other kind of generally nerdy things. She did recently a controller video with the PlayStation 2 controller that I really liked. Just all kinds of great stuff on her channel, and you should definitely check it out. That's Soft Serenity. She doesn't have a lot of subs right now. She's like 500 or something like that, and I think she could easily have way more. So go check her out. Who else? Relaxing ASMR. He has so many fantastic videos and was one of the ASMR artists that I watched the most earlier on before I started my channel. Oh gosh. Daintily Dahlia, awesome. Kiki Hermetic Kitten, fantastic. Soft Anna PL, really good. Just so many. I don't know. I could keep going forever. I really could. And lots of really, really nice people too. Fantastic ASM artists, talented and kind. I'm gonna leave it at that. Sorry if I should have said your name and I didn't, because I just watch so many different people. But okay, we gotta move on. Who are your favorite YouTubers? So not specifically ASM artists, but YouTubers. This was asked by I Only Follow. I don't watch a lot of other YouTubers, like Let's Players particularly, or anything. Like if there's something, one of my friends is like, oh, you gotta watch this, or this posted to our gaming or games or something, I'll watch it. But I don't have any YouTubers that I watch with any regularity aside from ASM artists. I don't really know why. I think Generally speaking, if I have free time and I'm in front of my computer, I'm either playing games, making videos, answering comments, or watching ASMR videos. So, but no, I've never really gotten on to watching any particular Let's Players or YouTubers. Next question. Are there any scenes in movies which give you ASMR? This was asked by Xbox Mudbone72. None that I can think of off the top of my head, actually. But it's a good question because it seems to me like there have been over the years, but I can't put my finger on any of them. But there are certainly, actually, now that I think about it, there's a scene in Django Unchained, where, what's his name? I can't remember the character's name, but the doctor, Christoph Waltz, plays the character, where he's pouring up a couple of beers, and Quentin Tarantino does this thing where he really likes to focus on just the sounds and the sights of food. There's a couple of instances in his movies where that happens, and so it's just dead silent with background with just focus on the sounds of the pouring the beer, taking off the head, that stuff. That was a bit triggering. And there's a similar scene in Inglourious Bastards where some of the characters are sitting around a table eating pie. I don't remember the exact content of the scene beyond that, but I do remember, again, it's that kind of weird fixation on the details of the food, which I find a little bit triggering. So I guess I do occasionally get triggered by movies. Next question. Gavin P2222 asks, do you watch ASMR videos similar to yours? By which he means, I assume, gaming related ASMR, Let's Plays, that kind of stuff, generally nerdy stuff. Yeah, definitely. The ASMR Gamer, I watch his stuff sometimes. He's really good. There's actually been a proliferation of gaming related ASMR channels over the last year or two, which is really cool to see. Awesome to see more people doing that, because that's some of my favorite ASMR content. I really love controller sounds videos where people just press buttons on a controller. Those are some of my favorites. Yeah, and of course it was watching videos like that before I started my channel that got me sort of onto the idea of doing what I'm doing now. So, okay, keep moving. Do you have any friends that experience ASMR? No. Oh, and this was asked by Ricardo Dr. Sasso. I don't have any friends that experience ASMR as far as I know. I've spoken about it with some of my closer friends. I'd say I've got about 5 or 6 friends who I've spoken at length about ASMR with, and who know that I have this channel. None of them think that they experience ASMR. However, and I'm kind of getting ahead of myself here because this question is asked later, but my brother does experience ASMR, which is kind of neat, and my mom does as well, which lends a lot of support to the idea of maybe some sort of genetic predisposition, or it could be environmental, I suppose. Something to do with the way we were all raised. Anyway, no friends though. What are your favorite triggers? Asked by Ricardo Dr. Sasso and Lisa. Favorite triggers. I really like tapping. I really like clicking sounds. I really like mouth sounds, which is weird because in real life they bother me, but in ASMR videos they're a big trigger. That includes eating sounds, chewing sounds, all that kind of stuff. I like hand brushing, camera brushing can be a trigger for me. And just general quiet whispering, unique speech patterns, accents, and unintelligible whispers. I love unintelligible whispers. Those are all very strong tingle triggers for me. Do you still experience ASMR triggers in real life? If so, what and where? Rarely these days. I can think of few instances where I have for a long time. The one that comes to mind is I was lucky enough to travel to Istanbul 2 years ago now, almost 2.5 anyway. Beautiful city. I would go back in an instant. So much to see and do. But I was at the Museum of Archaeology there, and I was there with my brother and a couple of friends we were all traveling together, and we happened to come across an art class that was sketching some classical statues in a gallery, and it was dead silent, except for you could hear the scratch of their pencils. There was one girl in particular that was sitting there, and she was just so intent on what she was drawing. There's so much genuine earnestness in the way she was drawing, and not like I was hanging out there like creeping around her or anything, but I just happened to see, and it just triggered like whoa, like massive tingles just with the scratching and the silence and her intentness on sketching this beautiful sarcophagus actually. And the cool thing about that moment was that my brother and I both looked at each other, and there was just this moment of like, yeah, tingles. Just this, and we didn't say a word. It was just this unspoken understanding. Whoa, that was really triggering, which was cool because it sort of, I guess, validates for me that we do experience the same thing in a way, and that those experiences are can be sort of shared, I guess. Anyway, so that was a somewhat recent example, I guess, but I can't think of one since then, so it's very uncommon. What were your childhood ASMR triggers? Oh, excuse me, I should have said the previous question. Do I experience triggers in real life was from Rindika. Jack the Lad asks, what were your childhood ASMR triggers? I kind of went over this. My earliest triggers that I can remember are from watching Bob Ross, Mr. Rogers, Fred Rogers. And that's what I can remember, really. I don't recall off the top of my head if I was triggered by, like a lot of the common ones are teachers writing on chalkboards and stuff. It doesn't ring any bells, so. Next, a lot of people asked, what's my favorite author and book / series? I really enjoy lots of books. An easy answer would be Song of Ice and Fire, George R.R. Martin. Not to get all hipster, but I read those books before they were cool. No, but before the whole Game of Thrones TV series and all that stuff, I had read those books, and I had recommended them to a lot of people. I was like, these are awesome, and people were like, oh yeah, sure. So it was really cool to see the TV show so well produced and well received, and I really enjoy the show as well. Obviously, I really like Brian Jakes, despite the fact that his books are aimed more at children and young adults, because they hold a special place in my heart. For those of you who don't know, Brian Jakes wrote the Redwall books, a series of books about anthropomorphic animals that go on grand adventures and fight in battles and stuff. And I've done a reading of part of Martin the Warrior, which is one of the books in the series, which you can find on my channel here if you're interested. But I read those as a kid, and they were really special to me. So um, I really like Edward O. Wilson, who is a biologist and author who writes, has written a number of books. One of my favorites being The Diversity of Life, about ecology, I mean biology in general, but evolution, the beauty of life, really. And I really love Brian Greene, who is a physicist and public educator and professor, I believe, and obviously author. But I recently read a book from him, the name of which is now escaping me. It is not The Elegant Universe. It is the something Cosmos. Why can't I remember? I'm having a brain fart moment. Dang it. Anyway, really cool exploration in layman's terms of relativity, quantum physics, cosmology, inflationary theory, all that stuff, the nature of time, the nature of space, existence, really cool stuff, but very grounded. It's not particularly pie in the sky. It's all based on, real science. And it made that stuff accessible in a way that no author that I had encountered before was able to do. So I wish I could remember the name of that book. Anyway, but Brian Greene, check him out if you are into physics and cosmology. Really cool stuff. All right, moving along. How much time? Oh, I should say we are. God, I'm bad at giving people's names here. That last question was asked by Lit Bites, Tom BRDR1, Little Green Dragon, and Zamster101. They were all curious about my favorite books. Okay. Conjumbled Spices wants to know, I like that name, Conjumbled Spices. How much time do you put into creating videos? The answer is it totally varies. Depends on the video. Some videos go together really easily. Some videos take a lot of different takes and a lot of editing to get to the point where I like them. I will say the Skyrim videos tend to take a bit more time than the other ones because I really am picky about the shots that I use, from the motion of the camera to the the way I frame things. I didn't start out that way, but as I've done more of it, I've become more and more picky about it. And so those will often take multiple takes. But how much time do I put in general? Not a stupid amount of time. Like an average video might take me, I don't know, let's say like half an hour to film, maybe half an hour of prep prior to that, then maybe an hour of editing, and then uploading and whatever, writing up all the video description and stuff. So like maybe 3 hours for a half-hour long video. Probably not unreasonable, excluding the time that it actually takes to do the upload and stuff and to render the video. Those can be quite time consuming, but I can go do other stuff while that's happening. So but some videos are longer and some are shorter. Some are really quick. So it kind of depends. I put probably more time into answering comments, or trying to, although I'm like a week at least behind on those right now, maybe 2. And that sort of social media, connecting with people and all that stuff. So and when you have limited free time, I guess it ends up being quite a bit of the free time, but it's not overwhelming. I keep it to a reasonable level because I only do a video a week roughly. So Soul Ripper 046 asks, what videos do you have planned for the near future? That's a good question. I don't know. I mean, I have some ideas. I'm working on another Skyrim one right now. I've got a Pokemon themed one that I want to do. You'll see what that's about. It's something different than anything I've done before. There's a lot of, I have a list of videos, ideas, suggestions a mile long that I consult occasionally, but I usually kind of go sort of seat of my pants, just what I feel like at the time, which is actually the next question. Soul Ripper also asked, how do you choose what videos to record? So sometimes it'll be something that somebody has requested that I have promised for ages, and I'm like, oh, I should really do that. Other times it will be, I'll just think, it's time for another Skyrim video because it's been a while. Sometimes it's just an idea that comes to my mind. It's something that I would like to do, and so I give it a shot. I wish I could say there was a bit more of a rhyme or reason behind it, but as it stands right now, anyway, I don't work on any particular hard and fast schedule. For a while, last year, I was doing that for about 6 months or something. I had a regular schedule that I tried to keep to, but it kind of sucked the fun out of it, if that makes any sense. I just started to make things feel like more of a chore or an obligation than something I enjoyed doing. Because I felt like, oh, I have to do this video, this particular kind of video. So I think I like keeping it a little bit more variable than that. So no real grand plan, in other words. DLineman32 asks, would you consider making a Dark Souls Let's Play series? Probably not, if I'm being totally honest. I'm fairly picky about the games that I turn into ASMR videos. I'm not going to say it's impossible. I might do it, but I generally look for stuff that is doesn't have a lot of conflict in it, or if it does have conflict, it's conflict that you're quite separated from, or that's kind of campy conflict or something that's not going to make people tense to watch. I really like to keep things, the whole atmosphere, relaxed. I think I would get aggravated playing Dark Souls. I don't know, because I've actually never played Dark Souls. I have it, and I've been told by a lot of people that I would love it. I probably would. So I'll probably play it at some point. But at the moment, there's a lot of other games that I think I would put above something like Dark Souls, just because as I said, I really like to try and keep the whole package somewhat relaxing or nostalgic, something like that. But never say never. Okay, Gregory Evans wants to know, do I have an experience making videos, or did I have any experience making videos before I created this channel? No, not really. As is evidenced by going back and looking at my very first video that I did on this channel. It's a piece of crap. Well, I shouldn't say that. Maybe some of you like it, but from a production standpoint, I'm just looking at some cards, but the quality is abysmal. Because it was just a crappy camera that I had, and the amount of white noise is borderline absurd. So now I had no video production experience before I started doing my ASMR videos. I've kind of learned it all as I went. Not that my videos are particularly well shot or produced as it stands. I would like to get a better camera and be able to spend a little bit more effort in that kind of stuff, but that is for the future. Audibo Beaster and Ricardo Dr. Saxasso want to know if I've ever told anybody in my personal life about my ASMR videos. As I mentioned, yeah, I have some close friends as well as close family, and everybody that I've talked to it about has been interested, or at least understanding to the point, or to in the sense of, oh, that's kind of neat, even if they don't actually understand what the sensation is. But I sort of explain it's for relaxation, it's for helping people with anxiety, it's for helping people with insomnia and stress issues and those sorts of things. And Yeah, everyone's been very supportive of that stuff. Everyone that I've talked to about it, so. Okay, lots of people wanted to know, why did I start making ASMR videos? This was asked by the Klaus Stein, Logic Plague, or Logistic Plague, sorry, Nikolai Ulbrich, Louis Marin, Murray, I don't know, Smurfy Jones, Putrefied Ghoul, and Just Oddly. They all wanted to know why I started making videos. Simple answer. Because I watched a lot of ASMR videos and I enjoyed the ASMR videos and they helped me a lot. And like so many other ASMR artists, that is what inspired me to start my channel. So, yeah, directly due to other ASMR artists and the help that they brought me. And I've received messages and comments from other people saying that my channel inspired them to do the same, which is incredibly gratifying. Really cool to hear, knowing that the cycle continues. That I can inspire other people towards, helping others. So, the Klaus Stein also asks, do you ever have to do multiple takes of a video? Yes, with some regularity. Usually I start off, I'll have a general idea of what I want to say, and within the first 30 seconds I'll have messed it up, cocked it up in some way. So sometimes it's usually getting started that's the hardest part. Once I'm rolling, then I just kind of go. But for instance, I had to start this video 3 times. But those first 30 seconds are often a challenge. Hi, Dexion Burke and Ethan Rowe ask, why did you make an ASMR channel rather than a traditional gaming channel? I honestly, while I've sort of flirted with the idea of making a traditional gaming channel, the thought was never really forefront of my mind. It wasn't like a goal of mine or anything. The ASMR thing was because, like I say, that was what I was watching a lot of at the time, and it was helping me a lot. I wanted to be able to try it out and to be able to give back. So that's why I never really considered a traditional gaming channel, although I have since, because a lot of people have said they would like it or watch it, which is really cool. And I would like to one day. I think it would be fun. I also think it would be a lot harder because there's a lot of traditional gaming channels out there. I think you need a hook to make that work these days. You need to be very good, and it would take a lot of my time, which would be taking time away from this channel, and this channel is my priority. So, but maybe one day, we'll see. EJV212 wants to know, do I use a mechanical keyboard in my intro video? Yes, I have mentioned it in the comments before, but I use a Corsair Vengeance K70 with Cherry MX Brown mechanical switches. That's what you hear in my little intro bit, or if I'm playing a game with clicky keys. I don't know if you can hear that, but that's it right there. Great keyboard, by the way. Highly recommended if you're looking for a solid gaming keyboard with mechanical keys. What kind of equipment and software do you use to record and edit your videos? Asks X Leon Hart. I use 2 microphones now. I use a Blue Yeti, which is what you're hearing right now. It is right over here. You can't see it. Well, I can probably swing it in, actually. Yeah, you can sort of see it. I've got a pop filter on it called the Pop. It's the one from Blue Microphones. And I've got it suspended on a Rode PSA-1 mic boom arm, desktop mic boom arm, which has been excellent. And hopefully that's not making really loud noises when I'm moving it or tapping on it. But the Blue Yeti is a good microphone. I like it a lot. It is big and bulky. so it is not ideal for some applications, but the sound quality is great. I love that it has multiple recording patterns, pickup fields and stuff, and overall really solidly built product, and I do like it. However, I also recently acquired a Zoom H1, which is a much smaller little recorder, much more able to fit into small spaces, closer to things that you might be unboxing or tapping on or whatever. And overall, I would say it's a better choice for a beginning ASM artist, just because it's more versatile. It also can record away from a computer, whereas the Blue Yeti is a USB only mic, so it has to be plugged in to record with. So you can find them both for around $100 ish online. Although the Yeti's MSRP is higher, but it's always on sale somewhere for about $100, I've found. And software, I use PowerDirector 12, which is from Cyberlink. I use that for editing my videos. I got it because it was highly recommended. It's okay. I wouldn't say it's amazing, but it was relatively inexpensive. I think it was $60. And it has a lot of features. It does everything I need it to. But it does have some kind of weird idiosyncrasies and strange ways of going about things. It is very quick to render, I will give it that. It has a hardware rendering option that uses, I believe, the dedicated encoder on my GPU, which is quite lickety-split, which is nice. Oh, and I use Audacity for filming or for recording the audio and editing my audio, which is freely available, digital audio workstation type thing. You can get it, it's open source, it's really good. Goodness gracious, we're already up to 50 minutes. And I'm on question 28. I'm gonna have to probably break this into at least 2 pieces. And I'm gonna have to speed up the next parts. Requiem Xdick wants to know what gave me the idea to mix ASMR and games. And what was my thought process at the time, I wasn't the first person to do ASMR in games. Maybe I was one of the earlier ones, but I wasn't the first, as far as I know. In fact, I know I wasn't, because part of the reason that I thought it would be cool to do games was I had seen a couple of videos that were video game related that were triggering for me. One was a fellow, and I think that I watched this before I started my channel. It was a guy playing the text adventure Zork, and he was sipping on a drink and munching on something, and he was just whispering or reading the text in Zork. And I thought that was pretty cool, and it was very triggering. And there was also a video from a channel that I don't think it was an ASMR channel even, and the video is called something like NES Appreciation maybe, but in the video the guy opens a Star Tropics box, which is an old NES game, and he takes it out and he looks at it, and he goes through the instruction manual all silently, and that video triggered me really strongly, and I thought it was great. He just sort of looks at the cartridge, touches it a bit. I don't know, I'm not sure if it was even supposed to be ASMR. It had very ASMR-ish qualities, but yeah, so videos like that, but also just the fact that gaming is a really important part of my life. It's something that I do to relax and to escape. It's something that I appreciate from a design level, and as a art in a way, a lot of video games. Anyway, it's something that's important to me in my life, and so it was natural to do that. I wanted to do a channel that that was about something that I was really passionate about, or things that I was really passionate about, because I strongly believe that some of the best ASMR happens when someone is really earnest about something, really obviously passionate or involved or intent on something. I can't really explain it better than that or quantify it, but somehow having that knowledge and knowing that that person has that intent somehow makes the triggers much stronger for me. I don't know. So I thought that I should do my video or my channel about something that I was really passionate about, because that would come through my videos. I don't know if it does. You can tell me. Maybe it helps. I don't know. Maybe I'm just crazy. Liam Kohler wants to know if I will ever do another Star Wars related ASMR video, because he really enjoyed seeing a little bit of my in-depth knowledge of the Star Wars universe in my Star Wars Lego video, the A-Wing video that I posted a little while ago. Yeah, there's a really good chance I'll do another Star Wars related video. Star Wars is something that I have loved for a long, long time. And I do have a stupid amount of Star Wars knowledge tucked away up in my head for no particularly good reason. I read a lot of the extended universe novels, I played a lot of the games, obviously watched the movies. Of course, all that stuff, with the exception of the movies, is not valid canon anymore. Because Disney saw fit to nuke all the extended universe stuff and say, we're starting again. But it's still canon in my heart. So yeah, there's a good chance I'll do another Star Wars themed video at some point. I have no idea what, but I'll try and show off some of my Star Wars nerdery more in future. Lily Amano wants to know, how does it feel to have such a successful channel? Were you surprised by it? I kind of covered this at the beginning of this video. Yes, yeah, have been and continue to be surprised by it. It's gratifying, rewarding, flattering, I suppose, that many people enjoy what I do. It means a lot to me that people not only enjoy but are helped by the time that I put into my channel and my videos. I don't know what else to say, really. It's cool. It was unexpected. I'm gonna just keep doing it and we'll see where it ends up. I don't know. My channel, I mean, don't get me wrong, I am absolutely thankful for all the people that do watch what I do, all of you guys. That being said, it's certainly not the fastest growing channel around. Neither is it the slowest, though. So I am pleased as punch with my channel and all of you guys. The ASMR Gamer, who I mentioned earlier, I do like what he does. He does some fantastic videos, and he's a really nice guy. I think his name's Ben. You should go check him out, for sure. And he's done quite well for himself, too. I've noticed his channel's doing really well, so congratulations. He asks, if you could, would you pursue ASMR and YouTube video creation as a full-time job? What a good question. At one point, I would have said probably yes. At this point, I'm not sure. You know what? Yeah, given the opportunity, if it was something, if I could support myself with it, I'd probably give it a go. I mean, I have a career. I have some higher education tucked under my belt, and I have plans for the future. So in one sense, I don't want to throw away any of that stuff. On the other hand, I really do like making videos for you guys, and I do love this channel. It's a lot of fun, and if I could do that for a living, that would be pretty awesome too. That being said, I have never made a cent off this channel. I have never monetized any of the videos. I've never accepted donations. In fact, I technically lost money on this channel, I guess, because I bought all this crap, microphones and software and stuff. But don't get me wrong, I wouldn't trade any of that for anything. I really enjoy running this channel, making these videos. If I could make money off it, yeah, I'd see what happened. I'd give it a go. We'd see. I still think about it from time to time, you know, putting ads on the videos and stuff, or having a donate button or something. I might do it. Yeah, I might. But sometimes when you start doing stuff for money, it stops feeling fun and starts to feel like an obligation, and that's never any good. So maybe it would change the whole dynamic. That's what I'm worried about. That's why I haven't done it thus far. Okay. Machiavelli 250 asks, would you consider doing an ASMR video with Amnesia: The Dark Descent, which, for those of you who don't know, is a terrifying game, horror, first-person horror game, similar to the Dark Souls guy. You know, that question. Probably not. I want my videos to be relaxing. And you could argue that you could maybe do a relaxing video with something like that if you did it right. But I think there are a lot of other games out there that I would do first. I know there are. I'm planning to do them. Again, never say never. But I feel like it would be just a tad too tense to be truly relaxing. Any tips for aspiring ASMR artists? This was asked by, me, myself, and ASMR, and Noah Talbot. Don't be a perfectionist. Just make a video and force yourself to upload it. That's what I would say. That's how I started. I had to have a little fight with myself before I uploaded my first video, that ended with me just saying, screw it, I'm uploading it. What's the worst that can happen? And it worked out okay. Even if your audio quality you think is abysmal, if your video quality is abysmal, if your heart is in it and you just take the time and the care to, you know, make a nice video, a good video, the quality as such is not so important. Also, use Reddit. Post your videos to the ASMR subreddit, because you never know who's looking at stuff there, and you never know if one of your videos is going to get carried to the top. That happens sometimes. Or sometimes your video gets downvoted to oblivion, because Reddit is a fickle mistress. But it's worth doing. Those are my recommendations. And talk to other ASMR artists. You know, socialize with them, talk to them, ask them questions, you know, if they're willing to answer. Make those connections. All that stuff. Very good. Psychic Werewolf wants to know if I have any tips for producing videos in general. Like not specifically ASMR videos, I guess. Nothing comes to mind off the top of my head. I don't know. If you're looking for something free that you can use to produce videos, I used Windows Movie Maker, or Live Movie Maker, whatever the heck they're calling it these days, for like a year probably. It's stupid simple. It is lacking in a lot of features, but it definitely gets the job done. The quality of the output is not always the best, but again, the quality is not as important as a lot of people seem to think it is. You know, once you've been doing it for a while and you want to start moving beyond, then yeah, you can look at, you know, buying expensive software or equipment, but you'd be surprised what you can do with free stuff. Or inexpensive stuff, at least. Seppo8383 asks, are you going to do more painting videos? I assume he means Warhammer. Yeah, probably. At some point. A lot of people have been asking for it. That video was actually a real pain in the ass to film. Working with the paints and the stuff with the camera and the way it was challenging. But I'll probably give it another go. at some point. So there's a decent chance. Again, with any of this stuff, though, I don't really know. Like, as I said, I just kind of do what I feel like, and I've got so many suggestions and ideas and questions and, great recommendations and all kinds of stuff that I could do. So, tends to be sort of spur of the moment. Okay. That actually covers all of the ASMR and sort of channel related questions, which is only a small fraction of the questions. This is taking way longer than I thought it would, and I hope you guys are enjoying, or at least finding this somewhat interesting, or maybe a bit relaxing. I don't know. This is the first big Q&A I've done, so but yeah, we're like not even a third of the way through, but we're already at the 1 hour mark. So the next questions I have lined up here are all to do with gaming. What's my favorite game? What's my favorite character? What's my most, best video game memory? All kinds of things. And there are like 80, 70 of those ish. So I'm going to save those for next time. So if any of you ask those, as many of you did, don't fret. I will be answering them. I'll be giving them the time they deserve. I think that's better than rushing them right now. I'm trying to blast through this. Also, any questions about... Oh, there were some questions about music, lots of questions about my personal life, just things that I like and dislike and what I do in my life, many of which were very thoughtful. And I will also answer those in a subsequent video. Whether it will be the next video or one after that, I don't know. Because there's a lot of those too. And some questions about her favorite TV and movie stuff, all kinds of things. But I think I have to end this here. I kind of want to keep going. This is going pretty smoothly, but it's getting pretty late for me right now, and the video is getting pretty long. So I'm going to call it. I will have this up on the 11th. It's technically the 10th right now. It's late on it. Well, actually, no, it is the 11th now. Has been for a little while, actually. But I'll get this up on the 11th of February for the channel anniversary. And I will endeavor to record the next video, or the second part of this, in the next day or two. I can't promise I'll have it up right away, but it'll be in the next couple of days. And if I have to go on to a part 3, I'll do that too. I'll try and get them all up within the week. So, well, this has been a lot of fun answering your questions. As you can tell, I have a tendency to ramble and go on forever and ever about stuff. I do hope, though, that I answered your questions satisfactorily for those questions that I have answered so far. If I haven't answered your question, once again, don't fret. I will be getting to it in the next couple of days, and thank you for your patience. Thank you to everybody for all of your questions, wonderful questions, and for supporting the channel through your watching, through your likes, your subscriptions, your comments, your shares, all that stuff. I never ask for that stuff, or very rarely do I ask for that stuff. You guys do it completely of your own free will, which is all the better. It's makes it that much more meaningful and genuine. So thank you all for that. And thank you for watching for the last 2 years. It's been a slice, and lots of exciting stuff coming up this year, I'm sure. So thanks for watching this first episode of the ASMR Nerds second anniversary, channel anniversary Q&A video. And I'll see you for part 2 very soon. Bye for now.